What's up? There were no videos last week because wisdom teeth, my face, and I couldn't talk much, which totally sucks. But so many things have happened, oh my god. So what I wanted to talk about last time was actually Steam refunds because it came up, it's interesting, there's a lot of debate around it. Is it good, is it bad, does it ruin indies, not? We're not going to delve deep into it. I'm just going to say that I asked for a refund for The Witcher 3 because it didn't work, if you recall, and I got it. And now I don't have The Witcher 3 anymore, which is fine because I can't run it right now. I will definitely play it in the future because I want to, but I can't right now. And I got a refund for it, so that's fine. That's really nice. And I think we'll be fine. I think it's obviously a good thing. It's good for the consumer, and it won't ruin indie games, and we'll be fine. So that's that. Now let's move on to way more interesting stuff. And there's the two big ones. Mainly it all comes down to the fact that E3 is here, and announcements, huge announcements, have already begun to come out like a week beforehand because it's June and everything happens in June. June is like the month for announcements. Not actual games, but announcements in terms of video games. Why? Because that's how it is. That's just how it is. And the first thing is Oculus Rift, which finally, there's actually going to be the 3D stuff. There's actually going to be a product, finally. A consumer product. And I'm not a huge... I don't love it myself, but it's finally coming out, so we might actually see things towards that, which is cool. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because there's so many things to talk about, and I don't really have too much more to talk about that specifically, because it doesn't interest me as much. Second big thing, have you looked at Dota? Source 2 is here. Source 2, is it called even Source 2? I don't know if it has a name, but there's a new engine. We all knew it was coming, but it's finally... They've announced it. They've announced Dota 2 Reborn, like a giant event, and they're remaking everything, and the entire engine, the entire game runs on a different engine, and they're slowly going to roll things out, and they're going to have a beta up until the International, and sometime after the International, yeah, we're a beta again, sometime, which could be like, 3 years from now, we're going to leave the beta stage and actually have Dota on the completely new engine, which is awesome news. It's totally cool. But the question is the transition period. That's really the troublesome area for me, because it's definitely going to split your player base into people who want to try the new stuff and everybody who just stays playing normal Dota. And it's an issue. It's definitely an issue. Yes, there's a test client, which we've had so far, which some people use, but it's not a big deal. This is really a divisor. And it's kind of an issue. It's kind of an issue. I want to see how they'll proceed with it and what you can actually do in the beta, because it's not clear if you could really just play normally on the beta, or it's just like bots and you don't actually have servers and stuff like that. And I think the correct thing to do, and what they'll probably do, is have no ranks there and only very limited game modes and stuff like that, so that it won't really divide the player base until they're ready to just put everybody over there, and that's it. So I think that's what's going to happen. I hope that's what's going to happen as they slowly make the transition. And it is definitely interesting. I mean, all the things that they've shown and all the things they're going to show. They're going to talk about custom games, finally proper ways of doing custom games, and all the crap, hacky things that you could do today, which are there, but hacky and lame and not fully supported in a way. And now it's going to finally be there, and people are super excited. I think this could blow up to be, like, insane. I mean... There were people played Warcraft 3. There was some point where people played more Dota on Warcraft 3 than actual Warcraft 3, and actually that happened pretty quickly. So people stay in order to play custom games. In this case, the game is Dota, but custom games are other things. And I totally see people playing only custom games and not even playing Dota anymore, because these custom games are so great, and already there are requests to bring back tons of beloved old games that people used to play, all kinds of custom games that come from Warcraft, from the days of Warcraft 3, from the days of StarCraft, and putting them in this engine. StarCraft 2 kind of completely flopped. Well, not completely flopped. There are stuff there, there are communities there, but much less than what used to be in Warcraft 3 and StarCraft. And now, with Dota, with with Valve doing it, it might actually work out, and we might actually have a huge community of custom games, and it could be amazing. So I'm really looking forward to it myself. Once everything is out, everything is more stable, I might get the tools myself and maybe make maps myself. I am a game developer, and I'd love to do that. So, revive my all-time favorites. I think I still have in one of my very old folders, you know what, I can go into it right now, and maybe, if I'll find it quickly, I actually have thousands, I'm pretty sure it's thousands, of StarCraft maps. There you go. I did know exactly where it was. And if I'll press Control A, those are 600. Actually, it's not thousands. Okay, it's 617 maps. And if I'll just read you the names, I won't show you, but I'll read you the names. Golem Madness, DBZ Battle, Bunker Wars, X-Men RPG, Frogger, Air Zone Control, Hydra Ranchers, which was my favorite, let's be honest. Hydra Ranchers was my favorite. You might know it as Footman Frenzy. Footman Frenzy is actually copying Hydra Ranchers. Everything that you know in Warcraft 3 was taken from stuff in StarCraft 1, just to be very clear. Fastest possible map, where you had the minerals right next to your, kind of breaking how the game works. Evolves, Bunker Wars, tons of maps of Bunker Wars. Cat versus Mice, DBZ, so much DBZ, Matrix, Nuke Wars, Observer Madness, Mixed Special Forces was a great one. I have SCM files. Those are actually just files of maps, of used map settings from StarCraft. So I'm looking forward to it. Don't get me wrong. I'm looking forward to it. And we'll see how that goes along. It's exciting. It's an exciting time. We'll see how that works. And the last thing we have to talk about, but we're not going to say too much because it really just has begun, E3 is finally here. The actual event of E3. Well, actually, E3 is in the weekend. We're actually in the days of the press conferences of all the big ones. And for some reason, everybody has them. Bethesda's there. Square Enix is actually doing one. Ubisoft, EA, Xbox, Sony, Nintendo, everybody. So a ton of news is going to come out. 90% of it is probably not going to interest me too much, but 10% of it is probably just going to be interesting for me. And already we've had Bethesda. Fallout 4, yay. Doom looks cool, but I don't know, I'm not that interested in Doom. It doesn't appeal as much as it used to, because it's very straightforward, kind of like the straightforward, the standard shooter. I'm not really sure. And the thing that I'm half happy and half sad, scared about is Dishonored 2. I really liked Dishonored. It was completely new. It was a new IP, and it was really good. It was genuinely a very good game that won a lot of accolades and actually a couple of Game of the Year awards, and I really liked it. So today, what you do when that happens is you make number 2, and you know what? It's okay, but it's scary. So hopefully it'll be good, and that's just Bethesda. There's tons more. We'll probably talk about it on Wednesday and why you shoot E3. We're just going to talk about that. And that's it. I already took a long amount of your time because there's so much stuff happening. So yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Again, we're going to have videos this week, and from next week, we'll see how I manage what we do while I'm away. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys later. Bye-bye.